My name is Marissa Pecoraro. I have created this video on a reading intervention program for Professor Yula Bobova's class at Toro College. I began by administering an informal reading inventory, which is a valuable aid in helping teachers determine a student's reading levels and his or her strengths and needs. An IRI usually consists of word recognition inventory, oral reading, silent reading, and comprehensive questions. This video is a clip of the WRI administered to a student. Pay close attention to her pronunciation of the word tense. She reads it as tent, as if it were written in its singular form. Afternoon. Baked.
Family.
Next is a clip of the oral reading passage where the student reads aloud and answers comprehension questions.
Will come to play.
In this clip, she recognizes the word mountain, but didn't recognize it in the beginning of the passage. I had to tell her what it said. When the IRI is complete, we can determine what reading level the student is at. This student in particular is a first grader reading at the pre-primer level. I found the areas that she is struggling in are development of letter sounds, word beginnings, word endings, pluralized words, response to reading comprehension, mostly inference questions. Reading intervention program. According to the results of the IRI, two Common Core standards have not been met. They are demonstrating awareness of relationships between sounds and letters, and demonstrating one-to-one letter-sound correspondence by producing the primary sound of some consonants. My goal for the intervention program is to guide the student to meet these. These are examples of activities that can be incorporated into lessons when creating a reading intervention program. During Haley's word recognition inventory, I noticed that she tends to skip words and ignore ones that she couldn't read. So what I thought was important was to go over her foundational skills of letter recognition and letter sound to help improve her understanding of them. So what I did was I wrote the word "and" on an index card, and I'm going to use it as a word ending. And I wrote a consonant on a smaller index card so we could add it to the front, creating the word "stand." And throughout this activity, I would like to change the consonant. We'll put a B, and that's stand. And we can keep doing that. L for lamb. And this will help Haley with word beginnings and word endings. And a follow-up activity for this, we can switch the constant, the word ending, and we can change it. So we can use end, and we can have lend, we can have bend, we can have send, and what this is doing is reinforcing different consonants and letter sounds. So that's one activity that we can use to help her with her word beginnings and word endings, and use it as a guide to help her recognize different letters and their sounds. During Haley's IRI, I noticed that she read the word tense as tense, so she was disregarding the S at the end of the word. With this lesson, we're using the word cube, and at the end, what I would do is I would write the word on an index card, and then I would put a cube, you could use any object, next to the word. So we have the word cube and we have one cube. What I would then do was, and have Haley help me, I would add an S to the end of the word cube and make it cubed. So then what we would do is, we would explain to Haley that when we had one cube, now that we have an S, now we have many cubes, to show her that it's more than one. I would continue this with another word, shape. We'll take the word shape, we can cover up the word cube, and we can show one shape next to the word shape. Then with Haley, we can talk about making it plural. We can add the S to shapes, and then I would let Haley, after demonstrating it with cube, on her own, show me many shapes, and we would put a whole bunch of shapes there. We can do this again a couple of times. We can change the word shape to maybe the word letter. We can put one letter next to the word, and then we can have Haley add the S to the word letter, making it letters, and we can have her add many letters to the word, showing it's plural, and that when we add the S, it's more than one. Another activity that can be done, we can use a letter sorting box for letter recognition to help reinforce letters and understanding of sounds. And what this is it's a box that contains different letters of the alphabet. And then over here in this letter bucket, we have different letters. And what Haley would do is she would take letters and sort them. I would make Haley concentrate on the letters that she has trouble pronouncing or maybe recognizing, even sounding out. And I would concentrate on those letters first in the beginning to make sure we incorporate that in there. And then she can just have fun with it. Even the letters that she knows, she can, sort them. And this is engaging. It'll keep her interested. So I think this is a good lesson this is good to use during a lesson. This next activity would help Haley with letters and sounds. And what we would do is we would create an alphabet book. And we would need glue, scissors, markers, magazines. And what we would do in the alphabet book, we would write the letter of the alphabet on each page, have them decorate the front if they want. It's engaging, it keeps them interested. It's fun. And what we would do is we would write the letter of the alphabet on every page, and we would go through magazines and cut out pictures that begin with the letter of each page. We can do a bunch of pictures, we can do words. Here we have the letter A, we found some apples. We cut out the words action, ask, art, and things like that. We can do that continuously on every page if we wanted. B, we just started, there's a picture of a bike, and we can continue that. What I would do is I would have Haley do this on her own. I would start with her, to explain how to do the book, how to get it started. I would concentrate first on the letters where she has trouble recognizing or sounding out first to make sure we get through that. Now, this is something she can also continue the next day. She can even continue to work on it at home with her family. She obviously wouldn't do the whole book in one sitting, so it's something that she can work on continuously. And this would also be a good assessment, and we can see if she did it on the right page. We could talk about the book, why she chose certain pictures and certain words. so it would be a good conversational piece as well. These books I would incorporate into the reading intervention program for Haley. These books are leveled books. They're usually used for guided reading, but they're simple language inside, so I would use them to help her get a good flow of reading so that she can comprehend what she's reading easier, since she did have difficulty with certain comprehension questions. She had more difficulty with inference questions than literal questions. But I feel like they're easy for her to they would be easy for her to understand just to get started, and then it would work up to a more difficult level, to where I feel like before her frustrational level. This is just an example of a read aloud book that we can do, and I would ask her comprehension questions, open-ended questions throughout the story to help her with her reading comprehension skills. And these books are auditory books, and I feel like these would help Haley because as she's listening to the story, she can also visually see the words, and that can help with her word recognition.
Some assessments have already been mentioned in previous videos. For example, the alphabet book can be used as an assessment. Read alouds can be used as an assessment by asking open-ended questions. The letter identification box is a worksheet that would be given to the student where they would read each letter, and that provides information to the instructor by allowing me to see what letters Haley recognizes. If she does not recognize a letter, she would be informed to say pass. I would have the same sheet of paper in front of me, noting any errors that she made. A wordless picture story worksheet is a worksheet that can be given to a student after a story is read to them, or after they read a story on their own. And what this is, it shows story sense and their understanding of it, where they would draw pictures and tell about the story instead of using words. Involving parents, students, and experts. Collaboration is very important throughout a reading intervention program. Parents will always be notified. It is best to have a sit-down meeting with parents, teachers, and persons of expertise present prior to the beginning of the program. Parents should be informed of the results of the IRI, and the needs of the students should be addressed. Parents should be given the opportunity to contribute their opinions on the matter. Once the program is complete, the results should be discussed in a second meeting. Any progress should be reported during the meeting. If the student has yet to meet the standards, parents, teachers, and expertise can collaborate and guide the parents to the next step. I hope you enjoyed this video presentation on a reading intervention program.